you want to come in and meet my mom is deceased, so I'm like, you want to meet my grandparents or whatever?
Condolences.
And he was like, and I was like, oh, and I just kind of like never brought it up again. So
yeah, because but I'm saying because he wasn't invested, so he wouldn't want to meet your grandparents because he knows that this ain't going nowhere. So what I'm meeting them for? We having a good time. We smash it. I don't need to meet them. That's what people who are gonna be in your life, sweetie. So that's what men think. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only speaking on a man's perspective. Because if I know I ain't got no if I know that my intentions to you is just strictly us having sex and we just be having a good time, I don't want to meet your family either. But if you telling me that we on to something, it ain't a whole year ain't gonna go by before I meet your peoples. Sorry, I'm gonna start asking, what's going on? What's up? Why I don't know who your cousin is? Why I don't know your best friend? What's going on?
So let me ask the question. I'm sorry, Mama. What's your name?
Key.
Key.
Like K.
Key. Oh, okay. So you was around his family and friends all the time.
All the time.
So what were you like? Were you meeting other girls he was interested in? Like, how did that work?
No, I never was around other women. No.
So who were you? Like, how did he introduce you? Like, this
Like, hey, this is Keith. And hey, how you doing?
Yeah, that was in front of them, but behind your back, you know I'm fucking that, right? It said, shorty, that's shorty I told you about. You know, shorty I was fucking. That's up. That's up right there. I'm telling you, behind your back, that's what it be.
When you're young at that time, I was like I was single for about 2 years at that, around that time dating him. So I really wasn't really sure what I kind of wanted.
What you wanted to do.
You know what I mean?
How old were you? How old were you?
At that time, I was 26.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was 26 at that time. So dating him and all that, fast forward, 2 years of just being single, I dated him for that year, and then the next year I just kind of like, nobody, nothing.
Okay.
And you met everybody within that year.
No, actually so I can fast forward to now. I'm 20.
He's asking you when you were with him, when your buddy, I think it was called a buddy back then.
Yeah.
Buddy, Buddy. You was introduced to his whole family and friends circle. And this was acceptable.
Because I wasn't.
And then y'all wonder why nobody want to commit to y'all.
Well, no. I just got out of engagement. That's why I was going to fast forward it up.
Okay.
As I said, I was like, a story to tell. That's story.
All right, well, let's sit back and listen to your story.
Right. Well, let's tell your story.
Because, you were saying earlier, you were like, hey, when the mask come off on people, they've been showing us those tendencies. Well, I was with somebody and we got engaged, and we got engaged. We kind of moved fast. But the love was real, And he's 2 years, about a year and a half younger than me. But he proposed to me. He knows all my family. I met his family. All that time I took to just try to really work on myself and be a better woman to anybody, any man that came into my life. But 3 months into our engagement, hold on. 6 months into our engagement, I found another woman text me and like,
she texted you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And was like, oh, I want you to know who you really with. And bust his ass out. And so I'm literally, as I'm finding out, I'm in the car with him. So
sound like Special's girl.
You just die inside?
Oh, Key, hold on a second. Because I don't want people to take this out of context. Because everybody's a little lost. So we were talking about something, we were joking about it, and now she's telling us about a scenario she want our opinion on. So y'all gotta just relax in the comments and listen a little bit. So this girl, you could tell she loved him because it's emotional for her to talk about that.
Me and Special.
I do really.
She's a weak bitch too.
Still love her, but it's like
Wait. Let me just. I just need some clarity real quick. Are we talking about recently? This is something that recently happened?
Yeah, there's something that just happened. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so when I found that,
I'm sorry. It was just because you said he was 26 and you was talking about the other guy. So
you was lost too, bro.
Cool. So you're 28 now.
Right. This was 2 years ago.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Okay.
I didn't know what you was talking about.
She said she wanted our opinion on this situation.
And so I just found out about the girl, and my fiance kind of like outside of that situation, he had been a really good man to me, like really good to me. And so I'm sitting here just like in distraught because I'm like, I ain't never had a man this good to me, but you can't be good to me because you did this shit.
But what did she say he did though?
They just
you said he bust them out.
Conversations were sexual. I'm not feeling that. You know what I mean?
So this young lady reached out to you. You in the car with this man, and she reached out to you that day while you in the car with him.
She tried to add me on Facebook. I said, who is this?
He said, as she reached out to him on Facebook.
So
like, she's lame just on that alone.
She sent you receipts? What he was saying?
Let me do stuff to you, and stuff.
She can't even say it. It's so hurtful.
All right. So what I'm saying is this. I'm just asking a question. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right or anything. I'm just asking a question. Why did you entertain the conversation with him?
Okay, so because I ain't gonna lie, I did one of the. I'm really not a weak woman, but I am weak for him because he was so good to me, and I had never kind of experienced that before with a dude. And I just was like, what did I do? And that was the wrong. Like, when I look back now, I'm like, what the fuck was I? I didn't do anything to you. He was like, oh, you made me feel unwanted. And I said, well, if I made you feel unwanted, why couldn't you just tell me that? Instead of running into the arms of somebody else. Just sit there.
But so answer his question though. Why did you entertain the conversation in your phone with the other?
Oh, with the other woman? Because I'm shocked. I'm like, when I seen because the first message she sent me was a screenshot.
Of what?
Right.
The text message.
The message was going back and forth.
So this is what I'm saying. At that point in time, when she sent you the receipt, right? How long did that conversation go after the first receipt?
Probably like 5 minutes.
Oh, so y'all was just going back and forth for 5 minutes?
I just asked her a certain question because I just wanted to know. I was like, she sent me a screenshot and I said, where the dates at? She sent me the dates. It's the date of the day we in the car. I'm in spaz because I'm
right. And when you showed him, did you show him the screenshot or you just showed her the Facebook?
No, I showed him the screenshot. I said, so this ain't.
And he just said, I don't know her.
He was like, oh, that was a couple months ago. That was 3 months ago. I said,
but you had the dates.
I said 3 months ago because when he first told me 3 months ago, I asked her for the dates. I said, send me the dates. Because I'm like, you straight lied to my face. You knew who she was when I showed you her. You get what I mean? So now I don't believe nothing you're saying.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I had to get the truth from kind of somewhere to give me some clarity on who I'm dealing with.
Well, he fucked up. He fucked up, clearly.
Right. So
clearly he fucked up. And when you confronted him about it, he said because you made him feel what?
Unwanted.
How? How did you do that?
That's what he couldn't tell me. I said, how? I'm with you every day. Every day.
Yeah, I think that was just an excuse to
because you just wanted to do what you wanted to do.
I think he just wanted to, enable his behavior, just use it as an excuse. So
let me guess.
So
I'm sorry.
What I want to ask is this. You said that he treated you so well and he was such a good dude, and it sounded like the good outweighed the bad.
Don't make that face. Don't think about the situation. He's saying, you said you've never been with somebody that treated you so well. What ways was he good to you that you just?
I mean, he was a go-getter like me, So he was always financially stable. Like, like me, I kind of had always been with people that couldn't really keep up. Like, if I'm going traveling, they can't even go. They ain't got no, like, all that kind of. So we were always good like that. We were kind of like powering each other. We were holding everything down. We both ain't got no kids. We just got engaged. We want to start a family. It was, all these things that we both wanted.
Right.
And just the way he treated me. I mean, open my doors.
So the reason why I asked you that is because it sounds like this was a very good man to you, aside from the fact that he cheated with this girl.
Let me.
Oh, it's more shit?
Wait, there's more.
So because I didn't want to leave because I knew he was a good man.
Oh, y'all lived together. Y'all were living together.
We were.
Okay.
I didn't want to leave him, so I didn't. Right. Mm-hmm. But then his demeanor started to change towards me. It was like, oh, I do this and that, so I ain't got to do this. Or this and this and that. And it was like, kind of like starting to get controlling, right? Mm-hmm. And so I left. It took me about 3 weeks, but I left. Because I just felt like, you going to cheat on me and then you talking flock me? Fuck you. Oh, excuse me, sorry. but that's how I felt. So in those 4 days, we kind of going back and forth, back, like, don't leave, we can work this out, this and this and that. But I'm like, okay, I was like, so how do I know that when you feel whatever, or we going through a tit for tat, that you're not gonna feel unwanted, right? So he's like, nah, it's not like that, this and that. I ain't talking to nobody else. 4 days I had been gone. I had went to my grandmother's house just to, because it had got so bad. I ain't gonna lie, like I was trying to forgive him, but I had a lot of animosity because I'm loyal. Of course. I'm loyal. So I was just like, damn. So we brushing shoulders in the house, not speaking. I'm not like that. I'm a talker. Let's talk about this. I want to figure it out, And I like that he gonna brush shoulders. I'm not like that. I can't do that. That's gonna drive me crazy. So I'm like, let me leave for the tension get too high in here. You know what I mean? So we work everything and I come back or whatever, and I don't even know why, but probably 5 days, right? I come back 5 days. I couldn't find my phone in the middle of the night. I mean, in the morning, I couldn't find my phone, and I pick up his phone, and something just tell me, look at his.
Don't try to. You couldn't find your phone. All right.
No, I'm gonna let that slide. Keep listening. I'm gonna tell you why I couldn't find my phone. I was like, check your messages. I look at the messages. It's Mika. This some new chick. I said, okay. I go to the Instagram real quick. It's a new chick. It's another chick in the Instagram messages. I ain't saying nothing. I called my phone. My phone in his hand, under his pillow. He sleep with my phone in his hand, thinking it's easy.
Or wifey or whatever.
You see what? That's why I couldn't find my phone.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
So he thought he was clutching his phone for dear life, but it was really your phone. So then you had his phone and his stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, you saved it. You're not engaged to him, right? You moved out. What was your ask of us, of the opinion? Did you bug? Did you need too soon?
Like, should I get that time to like
give what time
to try to like make that work, or that's a dead
end?
You mean like the phone is broke?
No, I mean
like the phone is broke. You want to get a phone time to work? I don't understand.
No,
I don't understand the question. Who's us?
Should I try to make it feel shit?
Wait a minute. This is, thank you. Matter of fact, put the other music on from last night. Put that on.
Hold on, let me get it. I wasn't ready.
This is your answer.
I wasn't ready. Hold on. You want the answer?
But you know what's the worst part is that like everybody in my family like, man, I think it should work. Like I think it's. I'm like, okay.
You ready? You ready for the answer? You ready? that nigga alone.
I cannot believe you even asking that. When you ask a question like that out loud, you already know the answer to the question that you asked.
It's not just only me, because I take my family opinion real close. But you know, you still got to do what's best for you. I chose to leave.
Sweetheart, there's nothing more important than loving yourself and valuing yourself more than anybody else on the face of this earth. If you can't love yourself, then you definitely ain't gonna be able to love nobody else. You understand what I'm saying? And you shouldn't even ask that question. What do you think I should do? What he should have done was take accountability as a man and let you know that, listen, I fucked up, I made a mistake, and it'll never happen again. And whatever I gotta do to prove that to you, that's what I'm willing to do. You understand what I'm saying? Not for you to go back in his fucking phone again and catch it in DMs and all kind of bullshit. That means that the nigga been doing this shit. He just got caught.
And that's what I feel.
He just got caught. That's all that is.
Because I'm not a searchy. I don't do that. I don't go through phones. Only reason I went through his phone that time because you
thought it was your phone. Right.
So.
And he was clutching your phone.
Yeah, he was.
And in all seriousness, because, you know, we have to add a little bit of humor because I can see you hurting and I don't want you to be breaking down unless you just want to express yourself in that way. But in all reality, Majah hit it on the head. Like, it's your sense of self-worth.
And I know I'm worth more because I know I'm a great woman. And I felt like that's why he asked me to marry him and did all of that because you know I'm a good woman, but you knew you wasn't right. You knew you wasn't right.
Well, guess what?
Un momento, por favor. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second, King. So the thing is this. Stop associating your value to what he measured it to be. Because you saying, I know I'm a good woman, that's why he asked me to marry him. It has nothing to do with him. The reality is, he was being whoever he needed to be, matching what you needed to see. Right? Okay? So he got you in the predicament where he's like, okay, what can I get away with now? Let me see what is she gonna tolerate from me?
And
because
when you say that, that's how I felt. Because when I stayed the first time, that's why I felt that's when I felt the change in his demeanor. Right. Because he was preparing you to deal with who he wanted you to see. Like he wanted to know what he could get away with, and this is the lifestyle he wanted to have. And if you was gonna be there for that lifestyle, then he was all for it.
I agree. I agree with you 1,000%, like for real. Don't your value is not predicated on what he thinks about what you think of yourself. So at the end of the day, he just wanted to make you comfortable enough to believe that he was invested in you like the way you think he was invested in. And that's exactly what he did. He played his cards right.
I appreciate y'all for that because I needed to hear.
All truth comes to light. You hear me?
Right. And I never have to look for it because I'm a child of God. He gonna show me. I never looked at his phone. I never nothing. God gonna show me. That's why that girl texts me.
Absolutely. He gonna
And your blessing is gonna be what you, because you swallow that pain that you feel right now. That's just an emotion to let you know you still active, you alive. You know what I'm saying? Like you're still able to prevail. That's not a sign of defeat or failure. That's not a sign of you devalue yourself, or you should consider what anything outside of what's in your spirit telling you, like this ain't right, this ain't for me. It ain't for you. Sometimes people just not for you.
I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Because that's his friend.
Never contemplate going back to that man again.
Hey, when you talking about Busta Rhymes and you talking about Special, them his best friends,
don't come up here and tell us about
he's
it
friends with both of them, so he's not going to take side with me
I'm keeping it real with you.
to undermine Special's fuckery, even though it's fuckery.
Because let me tell you something. This is something that I've learned in my own experiences. When we all make mistakes, and when you catch somebody cheating on you, or you catch somebody doing something that they're not supposed to do, it's either two things that's going to come out of that. It's either they're going to fucking fasten up their belt, realize their mistake, and fix the problem, or you just make that person a better cheater.
Yep.
You hear me? Because that person either gonna say, all right, she on to this, I'm gonna do it this way. Or they gonna be like, you know what, I value her and I fucked up and I should have did that. So guess what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop the bullshit. And I'm gonna take this, what I got, seriously. So it's either they gonna fix up or you gonna make them a better cheater. That's what's gonna happen. And he chose to be a better cheater. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if I was you, I would not even try to entertain that ever again.
No, right. It's dead. Even though my heart is still there, I can't help it because there's something I gotta move forward now. But I know, like, the logical side of me is like, fuck no. I was scared. No.
Time heals the pain, baby. Time heals the pain.
Yeah,
so
right.
Guess what?
Yeah.
It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time, but you'll get through it.
You're a compassionate person, so that's why you feel like your heart is still tied to that situation. You just got to take it for what it is and know, like, if you could love and invest that much time and energy into something that's not for you, you just take that and magnify it when it is for you. You don't take it and withhold it, or try to hold somebody else accountable to that. You just take it and you just do that other person.
That's what I've always been good at, though, honestly, with my relationships, is I do always give myself time. And I try not to, like, put whatever I'm feeling off on anyone else, you know?
Right. Right.
So I got a question for you. I'm just want to know, how long ago has this happened?
Yesterday.
Oh my gosh. The girl said yesterday. You got, and you consider, that's why you that's why we have to have more details. That's why she considering going back, because it's so fresh.
Wait a minute.
I need to
just
hear
left
this.
yesterday?
I know that stuff like this helps because...
Wait. You just left yesterday?
Yeah.
Did you take all your stuff with you?
All my shit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I got tickets on here, right? All my things. Everything. Nothing. Not a piece of clothes, not a piece of nothing. Honestly, like, I was to the point where I was just like, I don't ever want to see this man in my life. But I know there's not, I don't want to see him, but I knew not talking. I was like, I don't want to talk about it no more. Today I'm done.
I'm going to tell you something.
That's not how you heal.
I'm going to tell you something. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to me. I know that you said this man was a good man to you. I'm going to be very honest with you, and I'm going to be very transparent with you right now. That was all a facade.
Yes, Max.
Thank you.
That was all part of luring you in.
Yeah.
Okay? And a man is going to lure you in as much as they can. And you're going to keep going back. You're going to keep on entertaining it. And I'm not saying that nobody can't change. I'm not saying that either. I'm not saying that, because there's people who really want to change. But I feel like if he wanted to change, he would have did that when you caught him the first time.
Yeah, he would have done that. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, he is narcissist. I agree, sis.
Hold on to your point, because I don't want you to focus so much on the comments. When did it happen the first? How long ago did it happen the first time?
July 16th.
Oh, you got dates.
Come on, mama.
You got
Come
dates.
on. She gonna have your first heartbreak. You gonna have dates, times. She know what she was eating.
I've never broken up because of cheating. I never had broke up with my exes because of cheating. We just kind of didn't work. You know what I mean? But this
at the end of the day. That's it. He ain't nothing but Busta
So less than
Rhymes
3
dick
months
holster.
ago. Less than 3 months ago, he did it, and then you caught him doing it again, and you asking if you should forgive him because your family said to forgive him.
Your family told you that?
My grandma.
That's what she said.
My grandma.
Your grandma old school. Back in them.
They take anything.
Let me tell you something. Your grandmother is old school. She probably done had 3 kids on the outside.
Did you watch Waiting to Exhale? Did you watch Waiting to Exhale? Rest in peace. When Whitney's mother was telling her the man was a good man and he was a whole married man. It's old school. It's just it's a change. It's a different set of it's a different mindset. It's a different mentality. And it's nothing is better than your self-worth and your individual joy and happiness. Nothing is better than that. That's not love.
No, the man. Him just have some little problem. He can't control himself. You have to see with him.
Yo, him probably did not want me.
You know, the woman probably just dip on him case and she just there behind the man. You know, sometimes these women, them nowadays, you have to understand. Them women, them see you with a good man and they want to take your man from you.
Yo, them are...
Don't left the man fit. Don't left the man. I'm that me I tell you. Let the man steer. Just see with him. You can't see with him. Don't worry. You know your grandfather did have 12 people family. Everybody in the community did want him. And let me tell you something. All the people them where him have. Me steer with him. Couldn't get him from me. You're not gonna take my Victor from me. So you can't breed him a little more. I am still gonna stay with him.
My gosh, I cannot.
Yo, that's how they act.
I cannot. No, you giving him a whole nother clip.
You not take my Victor.
Yeah, you need to make a clip because you
know the woman down the road. You remember the woman down the road, Babette? You remember Babette? Your grandfather fucked Babette. And me catch them in the house. And guess what? Me beat her to sickness. And me go make some food for him. And me say, when next time when the girl fuck you, have to make sure she make sure you eat too.
Wow.
Or if you fuck the girl for hungry belly, what kind of thing that?
Yo, you don't know what I'm going. Yo, so at least you know what me I talk about.
If you don't fucking stop.
You will catch stitches the next time. You see the next time Babette come here. Make sure your belly full because you will catch stitches. You fuck the girl for hungry belly. That can't work.
Hey, yo.
I knew Majah would get on here and make me laugh, man. I knew it would.
Oh, my gosh. What is wrong with him? Please.
That's crazy.
Can I get...
But that's how it is, though. That's how it is.
It's a fresh room. We gotta find some kind of laughter in it. It's
right.
Yeah,
you
I appreciate
out of control.
Granny.
He said at least feed her first. Woo, I cannot. Listen. Don't listen respectfully. We love the elders. We respect our ancestors. This one,
it's a different time.
Yeah, we have to cut that off.
Yeah, you don't. You're gonna entertain what your hurting heart wants to hear right now. You can't listen to your heart.
Next time you buy Granny house.
I'm really a logical person, though. I'm really a logical person. Like, it has to make sense. Like, it has to.
When your birthday?
I just don't only listen to my heart. That's why I live. You know what I mean? And it was just like, the first time was my heart, but this time it was like, nah, this ain't it. But it's still...
Well, you in your resentful stage anyway. You already in your resentful stage, so are you looking for a reason anyway at this point? Because he already messed up.
You see all them young girls nowadays, they must be with them money. So what the man just take the little break, take the little break. Them woman, they must show them body, they must show them breasts, everything on Instagram and all this. We call it the social book. We call it the social media stuff. Them girls they show everything. So what? The man must look.
That's exactly.
Oh my God.
That's exactly how.
That's exactly what she said.
Exactly.
She said it.
Well,
right. Next thing you know, you said his whole energy was acting crazy towards you. So I don't know what that'll lead to, but you don't need to stick around to find out. I was asking, what's your birthday? When's your birthday?
I'm a Taurus.
When's your birthday?
April 23rd.
Okay, 23. I'm into numerology. That's why I asked.
Hey, Key, you know,
what my number mean?
Key, are your fault? No, me I think about it are your fault, Key. Because you're not fling it up like the man, you're not fling it up like the man like it. That is the problem. The woman them out the road that do the things and you not do the things. That happen.
Yo, so me and Jamaican, yo, when it comes to the bed, I have to talk about it. Bedroom, I born as a bedroom bully. Bedroom bully for the girl bikini. I born as a bedroom bully. Somebody say I knew she was.
Yeah. Wait, what's his sign?
Taurus.
He's a Taurus too?
He's a Gemini.
Oh. My father was a Gemini, and he was also a Rolling Stone. But
you're not tango that happen. You're not tango. You're not sit down palm body. You just
But yo, the thing that's so wicked is like
you have to sit down palm body. Key, you have to give the man cat back. You have to sink in your back, arch your back when you have to give the man. That's the problem. You have to give the man cat back.
No, stop before she be over there tonight.
No.
You don't have no friend. What state are you in?
Texas.
Oh man.
You live in Texas?
It's rough out there. That's probably him.
Right.
It's probably him right now.
Probably like
remember. Also.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who it is.
What part of Texas you in?
Houston.
I'm about to send my girlfriend at you.
Wait, does he know where you at?
You're going to have to send me a DM.
Okay. You know where you at? You know where you at?
Yeah, but he ain't. No, and yeah, of course, but not, he ain't gonna come over here.
He ain't on it like that.
You sure about that?
I'm positive. He's just not, I'm too cool for that shit. Like, he not like...
Oh, you don't want to be with me? Okay.
And
he American? He American?
Like, you sure you don't want to be true narcissist?
He American or he Caribbean?
Like, no, he is American.
Sound like he got some pimp in him.
No.
Okay, he talking about you sure you don't want to be with him.
That's just how he's just a narcissist.
You sure you want to leave all this?
This morning and was thinking, I was like,
I ain't gonna
I don't know
lie.
how I can recognize these narcissistic traits.
I ain't gonna lie. If I knew it was yesterday, I wouldn't have played the violin for you.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying?
I ain't know it was
too
yesterday.
soon, right?
No, it was okay.
I ain't know it was yesterday.
Sometimes you need that little tough love, that little hurt to kind of make you be like, ugh. When you hear it from somebody that you don't know, though, sometimes it's like okay.
Protect your peace, girl.
Air. I can't explain it,
Protect your peace.
It's hard. I know it's hard in Texas and Houston. I know it's hard because it can seem like it's a limit of your demographic that you might be looking at.
Of guys. And the funny thing is that I usually only date like foreign. So when I went back and dated him, it was different, because usually my encounter with just straight like no heritage black man. It's like a runaround, you know what I mean? So for him, how I seen it was like, man, this man is taking me serious. You know what I mean? Coming hard, like. But nah, maybe that was just to get me, to finesse me, and you
heard what he said, right? Did you hear what Majah said earlier? Excuse me, did you hear what he said earlier?
Yeah, what he said.
Facade?
Yes.
Yeah, he definitely is finessing you, and like I said. As much from what you told me so far,
finessing me, Mage.
He definitely got some pimpology in him, and he's using it on you. And don't be surprised if he shows up, because he will in some form or manner. Just because he want to have that control over you, it's not your decision when y'all over. It's his decision. Just FYI. So if he's seeing weakness, he might be seeing this live. He might see somebody.
I want him to see. You need to see.
I know you do.
Dead ass done with you. If it's you on here, I'm
well, sir.
You don't gotta convince us.
That was special. Was on the live.
So don't come to my shows pulling up trying to get gangster because I don't know you.
Nah, that's what I said. He's not like that.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there.
Right.
I'm just putting it out there because I got security.
Man, if I tell you, you don't know.
I'm just letting you. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, no.
Don't come and get bent up. Don't come get bent up.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
He ain't like that.
That's all I'm saying. Don't come to my show like why you was telling Shorty.
Somebody.
do not listen to. Trust me when I tell you, do not read these comments.
Well, I appreciate you for calling in, though, sweetie.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I appreciate you and stay strong.
Take care. I hope everything works out.
Stay strong. Y'all. You always funny. I love all your.
Stay strong. Excuse me.
Your Mimi.
It's not little nothing.
No disrespect at all. Like no disrespect.
Okay.
I'm from Houston. It's just something like it's no disrespect.
No, it's all good.
I post you on my page and everything.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
I'm a comedian. I can't wait to go to one of your shows.
I appreciate that. Hopefully I'll be in Houston. So stay blessed.
Bye, Kiki.
Damn.
Yo,
last night.
I couldn't even. That was so soon. I couldn't even get. I'm sitting here. I don't know. Her energy didn't give me until her voice started trembling. Then I'm like, oh, this is fresh. But I didn't think last night.
It was too early.
It was too early. Nah, she took it. She needed that though. She needed that tough love though. And she needed you to make her. She needed you to make her laugh because I guarantee you, all of the stuff you was saying, her grandmother was saying to her. so you don't want to give in. But I didn't want to. I wanted to be on a serious note because you touched on a lot of stuff earlier that I just love hearing. Like, I'm always super proud of you, and my love is genuine.
Thank you.
And I see both of us progressing and evolving in our journeys. And I wanted to say that self-inventory is the best because a lot of times when we speak from our own perspective and our own lenses. So obviously when we're speaking out to people, we kind of talking subconsciously to ourselves and to our own experience.
100%.
So that makes it hard, and that keeps a lot of breaks in communication and misunderstanding as well, because sometimes we become defensive. But if you take self-inventory the way you're supposed to and focus on your own sense of selfless love, not self-love, selfless love, because there's a distinction. Then when you need to make your list and when you look out for these red flags, they will not be so hard to see because people won't be able to go under your radar or over your standards of what you're not willing to settle for.
Absolutely.
And so that's why it's like the key is definitely selfless love individually. Like if we all do our own self-inventory of what we need to improve on, what we could do better, what we could project out positively, then of course it's going to help us foster better relationships in the communities and with each other. Because like you said, it's not about whose struggle is more, the black man or the black woman. However, because of who we are and because of our journeys and how we had to come through, this United States of America, it's not a wonder why everything is so devastating the way it is for us. That's why it's so hard. I do personally think that the woman has had ultimately more tolerance and more patience than the man has, but it's a given because that's who got broken down first. Was the man first. So it's gonna take, when a man says be my peace, and I see all the comments and the women saying, what about a woman's peace and what about this and that? And it's like it's not about who needs to have the peace first.
Exactly.
It is who is able to sustain the peace.
Absolutely.
Between the two parties, and you are supposed to be able to give and take and push and pull, and sometimes it's a little bit of a headbutting because both of us get emotionally spent at the same time. So in your scenario, it's like, I can't.
I don't even think that men's emotions are even recognized.
I was gonna go there because I saw it.
I don't even think it's recognized because they look at us like we made out of stone. You know what I'm saying? Like we robots. And we don't have childhood traumas, and we don't have sensitive times where we feel less than, and we don't have times where we might have heard a million no's already, and we finally we waiting for that one yes, and we not getting it. So right. I don't feel like it's recognized to the point where it should be.
Right. No, I agree. And yes, I agree. There's a lot of instances where, especially like the first two women that came on, and just our mothers and our grandmothers, the situation where we got brought up in, a lot of communication has been stifled. So, for example, even though you was joking, and that's how a lot of our grandmothers raised us, to just kind of like, take it, turn the other cheek, not recognize what is a poor relationship, or I hate to use the word toxic, so I'm trying to just dance around that word because I'm so tired of the word toxic.
That and narcissist.
Narcissist. I was about to say.
I'm tired of those two words, boy. They done learned something new, boy. They dragging it, boy. He's a narcissist. She's a narcissist.
Right. And if you just do any little, just, me, I'm all about factual stuff. I don't talk because I have knowledge. I talk because I seek knowledge, and I talk because I have a long span of experience, both educationally and life experiences. So I talk from a place of value. And so narcissistic tendencies, we all have them. Let's just go ahead and say that. Every human being has narcissistic tendencies. So when people say that, it's not necessarily an attack or like a poor label. It's how people portray themselves. So moving off of narcissism, what I was trying to say is that a lot of what we were taught that was okay and right and we should look past was not. And you touched on it, with men. You was like, we was brought up, or we didn't come up with a father, so we doing the best we learn how to do. Now we've gotten to a point where it's like, okay, so who's going to be more vulnerable first between the two of us? And society teaches us that if a man is too vulnerable or too sensitive, he's soft, or he's weak. And so it's like the message a man, especially a black man, has to demonstrate is, I'm not weak, I'm tough, I'm hard. And you kind of just exhibit that. You put that on display, and so people don't know when to say, let me put a hand on his shoulder or rub his back and say, I got you, what's wrong, what's going on? Like, we don't know how to read each other. So a lot of times, to your scenario, when you come home from a long day and he's like, I don't want to talk about this right now, just give me a minute, whatever. And then you have the female that's like, what you mean? I had a long day too. I've been such. And then you just got this going back and forth. So it's just like, we all have to take a self-inventory and just reassess our communication styles, how we deliver love, how we receive love. And you can only give what you have, like you said earlier. So if you're not investing in the love that you projected, you can't invest in the love you protected.
Exactly.
Call me mother. You understand? Like, at the end of the day, you have to. At the end of the day, you have to invest time in it, instead of scrolling through Instagram all day or TikToks or whatever. Do research. You know what I'm saying? Like, educate yourself on what it takes to understand yourself as how you communicate outwardly and how you receive communication. Because you can only control how you tailor your communication to people. You cannot control how they're going to respond to it. And so that's what I'm saying. You have to invest time in that. You can't, we get on here, we have a lot of discussions and stuff that's like actually doing the work and saying, okay, what can we put in place so that way we invest it in ourselves, our self-worth, and our essence. So that way when we are projecting ourselves, then we have the tools that we need to get what we want in return.
Right.
And I also wanted to make a point on the celibacy thing, because a lot of people keep talking about celibacy.
You was celibate for like 7 years, right?
When I first did celibacy, I did 10 months. That was back when I was like 22 years old. Okay. So celibacy is not a thing that you jump into. My last spat of celibacy was 7.5 years. And I'm not saying that to say like 3 years is nothing. I'm not saying that. I give you a round of applause for that. That's awesome to me. I'm not saying that to say 3 years is nothing. I did 5 in one and then 2.5 separately. So it wasn't concurrent, but I did do 5 years concurrently. And so the reason why I brought it up is because people say it lightly as if it's like something's wrong with you. But celibacy is the highest form of discipline a person can exercise. We are human beings. Like we relate physically. So human touch is significant, and sometimes depending on your love language and how you receive love, sometimes you can be jaded mentally, emotionally, and physically if you're having that interaction and it's not used to elevate you. spiritually, because that's what a physical connection is supposed to be for. But that's for another live, so I won't get into that.
Somebody said now they understand the definition of your name, sucker free.
literally sucker free, and it's a triple or quadruple entendre, if you will, because we know if you feed a sucker, he'll just grow to be a bigger leech. We know that, but but if you stay sucker free, you will protect your space, you protect your energy, you will protect your peace. So when people say, when a man says, "Be my peace," it's like be the peace you seek. That goes for men and women, but be your own peace, because a person cannot finesse you or mentally screw you over when you're mentally sound.
Absolutely.
And if your emotion is connected to your physical and your mental, then guess what? That's why celibacy is such a big factor if you're doing it for the right reason. Because you become so, it's like your level of clarity is heightened when you do that, and nobody can penetrate.
It's just like fasting.
It's fasting on a billion.
Facts.
I did it for a whole year.
Yeah. Because some things, it takes a while to, you know, as we are as human beings, when we're giving of ourselves, it takes a while to find a balance. So when you're getting to the level of celibacy that you actually want to get to become mentally sound and spiritually, yo, the people in the comments, I'm gonna let y'all live because I'll be getting they just gone. It's like I'm gonna die alone. That could never be. And y'all y'all don't listen. I know I joke. It's a time and a place for everything. It's a time to roast and it's a time to not. But just to give y'all a little bit of science, a little biology, after 7 years, your cells rejuvenate. So that's another reason why 7 is a significant number. But that doesn't mean that you can't take your body count doesn't disappear. So I know men think that women be doing celibacy because they got a lot of bodies on them, but there's a lot of things out there that you got to be mature enough to understand, and not just think everything is about keeping bodies up, because some of us 80s babies were always reserved and we always had a certain sense of worth, so we didn't have to worry about keeping bodies off. And the last thing I wanted to just say is reciprocity. What you give out, you get back.
Absolutely.
So that's what it's about.
Absolutely. I appreciate that.
So what happened? Because which audition you flying me out for? Tomorrow or Thursday?
You let me know. Which one you want to come to, the early or the late one?
I feel like the late one is gonna take us off a Thursday night.
Why?
Meaning, like, you know, it's 4 to 8, so I don't really see us getting back on here after that.
I probably don't see myself doing it either, to be honest. But that's cool, because after the audition, you know what I'm saying? We gonna go have a drink and chill, and, you know what I'm saying? More conversation. I'm gonna be in New York Sunday. So
Also come for salsa. Oh, what's Sunday? That's just when you come in.
Yeah, Sunday I have a special event that I gotta do. This thing here. Hold on. How you put it first? All right, thank you. Now, it had like an auto-tune thing. You heard it?
I heard it.
Yeah, it was like an auto-tune thing going on. Right. Anyway, yeah, I got a private event that I gotta do on Sunday. Saturday, I'm hosting an event in Jersey, and then Salsa con Fuego is on the 21st and the 22nd, 2 shows each. So it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit.
Well, you know how to reach for your stuff.
So what's up? You need to fly out on Wednesday. Fly out on Wednesday, and then we go back on Sunday or Saturday.
Saturday.
You could afford those days?
Come on.
What? Thursday,
Wednesday,
Friday,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
That's 2-3 days. That's light.
That is like.
We don't.
We'll talk. We'll talk. We'll talk.
All right, cool. Say that.
Because if. Nah, I'm not going to say. I was about to say something.
Nah, leave it alone.
I'm going to leave it alone. You still want to have this show?
What show?
The show that you're casting for.
Wait, okay, got a thing going on. Wait. She gonna come and disrupt the whole show.
This show is gonna be lit.
The show is gonna be lit.
You need to be on it.
I'm not competing for nothing, but I will be on there as your assistant or your, as your. My perception level is.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Like,
weird numbers calling me all day.
Overseer.
I was asleep.
I got you. I got you. Y'all dope too. I love y'all.
Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, hold on one quick second. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, the casting, the information is on my IG story and it's also on my page. It's going to be tomorrow.